Hi, Surya.
Hi, Sonali. Okay.
Is Mansi and Rahul not available today?
I don't know, Sonali, like Rahul was there in the class. I'm
Okay,
asking Mansi if she's joining.
okay. So, how confident are you on the automation framework now?
Yeah, I'm good, Sonali. Like, yeah, I have the confidence that I can do it.
Okay, okay. At least the folder structures you got to know, okay, what kind of folder structure will be there, right?
Yeah, Sonali.
Okay, great.
With the Maven one, right? Yeah, got
Yeah,
it.
the main one. How are the other sessions going on? Like, I
S-
guess Sandeep is also taking the framework right now, right?
Yeah, Sandeep is also taking. He was only taking the frame.
Mm-hmm,
He was in the beginning. Actually, he took like one by one each topic.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
then like this week only he started, like last week only he started the framework, so he just like taught the different packages, like in which package what will go.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Okay,
all yeah, finished.
okay, okay.
I think Mansi just messaged she will be joining in.
Yeah.
I think is her.
And what other things have you gone through till now?
So in like overall Sonali, or
Yeah,
in
yeah,
automation
yeah.
only.
Overall.
So like the manual testing in the beginning, the manual testing,
Mm-hmm,
Sahil, like when Sahil took the um, database testing, SQL,
mm-hmm,
API testing,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, I think, and the automation.
And Jenkins and all, has that been covered
No,
yet?
Jenkins, they said they think somebody will take the Jenkins, but Jenkins
Mm-hmm,
have not covered yet. Usha took the Git classes.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Sahil took the Linux classes also. Like one class he covered that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jira.
Okay.
Jenkins, I think somebody will be taking. Not
So
sure.
have you created your Git repository?
Yeah, Sonali.
Okay. And have you pushed any code over there?
Yeah, I think one time I pushed one time code, so I was not able to like everything whenever I was pushing, so it was going in all the branches.
Hmm.
Then didn't get a
Okay.
chance after that to go through it. Like Usha was taking those classes, so she said she will take those things. Then I didn't get the chance.
Were you able to look into the API, any of the API?
So yesterday you asked that API, right, Sonali?
Yeah, yeah.
Today I didn't get a chance, Sonali.
You didn't get the chance. Okay.
So they have started with the marketing also. So they were like a meeting for like more than 2 hours. So and then
Okay.
Sandeep asked for another class to take, like today
Okay.
any
Okay.
chance.
Let's share my screen. Okay, so from my end, I had already covered like how do we look at the APIs and all. Let me just go back. Hmm.
So for the API automation, Sonali, so it's a we need different tool for that.
Yes, we need different tool for that. But I guess now that your marketing has already been started, right? So
Yeah,
it might get very overwhelming for you, and I don't want it to get like this. Uh, Otherwise, that is also a really good thing. Let's see how does your marketing goes if you're getting good calls and all, and we'll just skip it. Otherwise, I'll ask Radhika to schedule these sessions as well.
yeah. Anyway, nowadays we are hearing that the market is not good. So yeah, we'll see.
Yes, market is not good. So that's what the thing is that you need to learn. You need to actually not just learn, you need to execute the things as well. Okay.
Yeah,
So if you are having like multiple classes and you are already, like having so many tasks, let's just stick to one class. So let Sandeep finish first. Okay. Then
yeah.
once he's done, then we might go back to the automation testing if we are not getting proper outcome on the marketing side. Okay. Then
Okay.
we might go for it. Otherwise, right now, like because automation testing is such a thing that if I'll, will start doing something, well, I'll give you assignments. You won't be doing it. It makes no sense at all. At least
Yeah,
Selenium, you'll get to know the things. Okay, this is dot click, this is dot get text, like basic stuff. But
yeah.
rest assured, it's just few things that you have to remember. It is not such vast thing, but you need to remember few syntaxes and all. That
Okay.
might take time.
Yeah, Sonali.
Hmm. So, this thing, let's say now I have, maybe just a second. Okay. Yes, now I have this APIs with me, okay? So how will you get these APIs into Postman now? Can you
Hello.
tell me?
Um,
Hello,
Curl, like yeah,
girl, right? Okay. So how can we do that?
right click or I think we do the right click or something. I don't remember
Mhm.
it.
Okay, okay. So we will just do a right click, copy, what? Copy as girl.
Skull.
So, okay. So So this will just become a bit easier for us, like such APIs without too few, right? They are so complicated, they are so much nested. So it will become a bit easier for us to just have a look at them from the Postman. So that's why I'm moving it over here. Otherwise, you can do it from there as well. It's not an issue. So we can clearly see each and every detail from here. How is the response folder structures and all, right? So now has any one of you, Mansi and Rahul, were you able to test out any of the API?
Hello, hello.
Hello, yes, yes, Mansi, we can hear you.
This Sonali. What was the question?
So were you able to test out any of the API?
No. No, Sonali.
Okay. Rahul, you said yes, right?
No, Sonali, I said no.
No? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. So this is a huge one. So you see, these are not properly, see, these are the things what happens in a open source application. So
Sonali,
now, yeah,
sorry to disturb you. Your voice is not clear.
my voice is not clear. Can you hear me now? Is this
Yeah.
better?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this is
Okay.
better.
Okay. So let me know if you guys are aware of the term open source. What is open source?
Which can be accessed by anyone.
yeah.
Yeah, it's freely available for everybody.
Okay. All right. Uh, ap- Apart from this, what else do you think? What else could be there?
I think the
Exist
code is
in the
accessible.
sense of correct. Code is also accessible. Okay. So in general, what will happen is that people will come and people will do some development and their code will get reviewed somehow. But still the quality of code couldn't be maintained properly. Okay, so that is why if you see over here, the kind of responses that we are getting, this is not the proper method that we use while creating in a like in an organization. When you will go, you will see a very crisp JSONs. Okay, and this is not the proper format that you are getting so many details in just one block arc. Okay, so here this thing we can say that this is crisp. Okay, but again we are getting these many details over here, division class. So this is basically the UI elements which are coming here, so it should not be the case. Okay, so going forward, like maybe when you'll be going in an organization and all, you'll be seeing very crisp APIs, so don't get worried about these ones at least. Okay, now let's just look at this. um This is a name that helps you. Okay, let me copy up another one. This looks really weird. Web source has group account invoicing on board. Again, we are getting HTML tags over here. This we can even raise it as a bug that we should not be getting HTML details in the API responses. Is this clear?
Yeah.
So this I'm on invoicing page, account list. So I'm basically trying to find out the API which could give me the result that okay, you're on this page right now, and these are the results. So basically number, customer, these will be the headers, and these are the information that is displayed over there. Okay, so you will have to on a single click, even when you land on a single page. Okay, let me clear this out. So it's not necessary that when you land on a page, only single API will be triggered. There will be multiple APIs that could get triggered when you land on a page. So let's just see over here. There are so many APIs. You need to see each and every API that, okay, what is the response and what am I trying to test over here? So my requirement is right now to test this particular table. Okay. Huh. So do you think this one is the one that we're looking for? What is this basically?
It's like a database, the name and the categories, the name and the information for that particular customer.
For particular customer, can you
Like
see like
means there are tags like name, then employee, children, app ID.
no, I'm talking about this API. This API. What is this API returning to us?
In APIs.
Invoice.
Hmm. Invoicing. What else? Customers. Again, invoicing, credit notes. So basically what it is doing is it is just giving you all the tabs, whatever is present on this application. So if you see over here, so we have products, we have customers, see, we have vendors, customers, vendors. Then we have bills. Bills, I guess it was somewhere. Where was it? Who had explored bills? Bills
I
under
did, yeah.
vendors. Hmm. So refunds. All of these things are coming down in one API. So it is also even taking the sales one, okay, and sales quotations, whatever things that we have on our dashboard, okay, it is giving you all those details and all the tabs that it has under it. So that's what this API is doing. Again, it's a very complex API. We don't know what's the use case of this API, first of all. That what was the need of this API to be called from this page, basically. So maybe what we are trying to test over here is that does the customer have, okay, let's say on the UI, let me go to the dashboard. Okay, let's say on the UI, I am getting that invoicing. Okay, but now what happens is that this API is doing a validation whether this particular user, does they all have a access for invoicing? Have they enabled it from there or not? So if you see to invoicing, so if this is present over here, that means yes, this is enabled for him, that person. So right now you're seeing sales and all, right? Let me just disable it and let's see once again if we are able to see that in the response. Apps. Hmm, okay, it's installed. Okay, let me just add one more. Okay, CRM. Okay, let's clear this and let's land to on which where were we invoicing. Okay, self-respond. Let me refresh this page. Okay. Hmm. So dashboards, customers, this journal, um, countries, banks, limit reasons. Okay. So these things, what it is giving you, my teams, my pipelines, CRM. You can see here CRM. You're getting this. Is this point clear? So how will we do these kind of validation that, okay, what things have been enabled for this user and are those things visible? Like, are those things there on my database or not? So we'll just validate it from there as well. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just clear this once again and and it over here again. Okay, so it says get views. Okay, and what kind of different views we are getting. Okay, now in general, if I say, how will you test out? Um, okay, first of all, tell me what are these things? What are these things? Can anyone of you tell me what do I have under selection?
It's like,
No idea, Sonali.
so like we see the like when we click on like confirm and we are missing something, that window, like
Okay, just in
warning
terms
kind
of
of a thing.
JSON, just in terms of
Oh,
JSON, I don't want anything, any information related to
nested.
data.
Nested arrays.
Can you, like, are you sure this is nested? Mansi, what do you think? What is this? Is this an array or nested
It's like
array?
it's like I don't know Boolean or stuff. It's 0, 1, and it's true or false. It,
It's array, I think. Sonali.
yeah, right. Array index is there, 0 and 1, but value is same.
Rahul, what is your thought? What is this?
It's
Array is
I also think like an array for index 0, it's info. For index like info, like something like that.
Yes, so this is an array. So whenever, as I mentioned yesterday, whenever you see square brackets, that means that is a
Array.
what?
Array.
Right. And whenever you see curly brackets, that is a
Nested array.
voice is not clear, Sonali.
It's coming from very far.
okay. Sorry. Yeah. So whenever it's a curly bracket, then it is a nested JSON. Okay.
Okay.
It could be either JSON or nested JSON if they're like curly brackets inside curly brackets.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a
Sonali, this is like so much of information, and I don't know. And we are still talking about manual API testing, right?
yes, yes. We are still talking about
We are
manual API
just
testing.
So we are just going to check with the documents which are going to be available with us, and we are just going to check with the just by seeing it, right? If it is exactly like the documents or
So
whatever we
see,
are.
okay. So we are just going to see that, okay, this should be the format result models account EDI dot documents. These things you don't need to worry about. So if any of the field is missing, then you can raise it as a bug that, okay, this field is not there. Okay.
Okay.
But what I want to test it out right now is that whether the data that you're seeing on this, okay, is it
Should
matching with the
relate.
UI or not?
Okay,
Right?
we should know the particular
Hmm.
line belongs to which field.
Yes. Okay. Also, now I want you to just figure out the things that, okay, name is what? Name should be in the format of just alpha, like you can say alphabets only, like characters.
Characters.
Okay. So then you have this all of those these information kind of, let's say if it looks like a boolean field, then it should not be accepting any other numbers. So these are the things. Okay, now let's just do one thing. Let's create an invoice. Okay, so now we know that looking at the UI, we know that what are the mandatory fields. So do you guys remember what are the mandatory fields to create an invoice?
Invoice date, customer name.
Add line and line.
Correct. So let me just try
Your
now.
voice, we
Is it?
can't hear you.
Arey yaar, I'm not sure what is wrong with my headphone. Hmm, okay. Let's see.
Show and explain.
So I'm just selecting the customer name right now. Okay. And let me just click on confirm. Okay. So right now we are having these many things. Okay. Let's see on custom. This thing create. Okay, so create result is 72. We don't know what is 72. This might be a mapping onto the database. So on database we might have a field which would say that if the result is 72, then it means it is in draft state or there is an error or something like this. Okay, this could be a table in the database. Now read this, read. Okay, edit. What do we have over here? Anisha, so this, if you see, it has taken all the details whichever we had given. So Giga Elements is by default that yes, this is where we are. Commercial partner, this we have raised it for Anisha, and this is the ID for her. So this has been created from the database. Okay, company currency. So if you see over here, this is INR that we had selected. It was by default selected. Okay. Then what else? Date is also there. Okay. Display in active currency false draft. Display name draft invoice. Okay. Let me just click on close right now. And this is draft invoice 72. Okay. So likewise, you have to do it for everything. Now let's go to this name cat. What does this have? Okay, this is just that, okay, which name you had selected. This is what information? Hello?
Followers.
Mhm.
So followers.
Just think about it once again.
There's there's a one like option there following one. So who's following that?
Okay. Has anyone of you done this? Like following, where is it exactly?
Yeah, actually, it's
Tag.
yeah, and
Mhm.
then
Okay. Okay. Is internal user has read write access, main attachment clear. Okay, let's go to the next one. What I wanted to see was that error that user is, we don't get, where are we getting that from? Message. Okay, so if for such invoice created subtype, yes. Okay, so if, let's say if for such text box that you're getting, such pop-up messages that you're getting, so let me click on this again, and you see over here we are not getting any like auto server name. Let's just look at it. Okay, trace back most recent call. You need to add a line before posting. Okay, so this is the error box that we are getting. Okay, so right now this is coming from the database. You're getting a in certain cases, what could happen is that you might not get any API call for this, but what will happen is that you will just see a pop-up. So this will be integrated just from your front end as well. Okay, so this information would be shown only from your front end. Right now you're getting it from the back end. You need to add a line before all of these information are coming from the back end. So are you getting like front end also can show you different messages and all. It is not necessary that like these kind of messages will be always shown by the backend, will be coming from the backend side. Is this point clear?
yeah.
So let's say what will happen is that how will front end decide, okay, what message do I need to show? Okay, so what will happen is they will check the status code of the previous API call. So if it's 200, they might show a pop-up box of successfully created a user. If it's 400 or if it's something else, then they could also show that was not able to create the user, please try again. These kind of messages it can show based on the previous status codes. Is this two things clear?
Yeah.
Sabia, can you just rephrase this?
Sonali, it is a bit confusing for me.
Yeah, can you like just repeat once again, Sonali?
Then why are you guys saying yes? And when I'm asking, you're not at all saying that, please. Okay.
So what I have understood
Hmm.
is if we are having only if we are having an application,
Hmm.
sometimes we don't have the application, we will only have APIs. But when we have the both, so front end as well as the back end, like API and the front end, whatever we are seeing on the UI, they there will be same, like we are saying this error, and plus we are getting the same API for that. But sometimes we might not get the front end, that pop-up window, but we will see the API for that. That is what I was able to.
What I understood is like we have to like validate whatever like the API is, whatever we have on the API response, the same we are getting on the front end also. Like, I was able to get this part, but yeah,
Okay.
after that.
We sound very confusing, right?
No worries. Rahul, what is your understanding? Rahul, are you there?
Yes, yes, Sonali. So the user error
Yes,
regarding the APS, right?
yes, the message
I think
box errors that we are seeing, what
yes.
was I trying to explain over here?
Mm, user error.
Okay. Just see. Basically what we were trying to go through was that these errors that you're seeing on the front end. Okay, first of all, we are just talking about the front end errors. Okay, it's nothing like that when the application was ready or when the application was not ready. Okay, it's only when the front end is there and the proper integration has been done with the back end. Okay, then we are trying to just see that if it is a front end error, or it like is it shown from the front end, or is it shown from the, is it coming, the data on the front end, is it coming from the back end? Okay, so what could happen is that front end could also show some content without having them on the back end side, just based on the status code they are receiving. Okay,
Which might
so
be
hmm.
not correct one, right?
No, that could be the requirement also, that okay, if the status code is coming as 200, just show a success message. If status code is showing as 400, then you can show a
Error.
negative message that yeah, this has not been created, right?
Okay.
Okay, so like the whatever the message we are seeing on the front end, it might be from the back end or might not be
Y-
from the back end, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's what. Okay, so it could just judge that based on these status codes, that if your previous API call was 200, whatever API, whatever task, whatever action you have performed, the status code is 200, then just show a success message that yes, user was able to create successfully. If it's coming as 400 or 500, then you can see some messages like uh, yes, sorry, it was not able to create. Can you please try again? Some kind of this kind of message, which would be just hard coded from the front end.
Okay.
Okay. No need to pass them from the database or
Okay.
from the API.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Right now, here in this case, we're seeing that this information is coming from the APIs.
APIs, yeah.
Okay. This information is coming from the API. Where is it?
That means it's fetching it from the database, right, Sonali? It's coming with the API.
Yes, it's not necessary that this information will be in the API. First of all, these kind of information, your code, the API codes will directly give it to you. It's not necessary that it will be there in the database. Okay.
Okay.
These
Okay.
kind of messages won't be usually there. Only the data that we have. That means, okay, what value I need to fill in over here. That will be coming from the database. But if you see that I should be having a customer, I should be having a place of supply, these fields, this won't be coming from the database. This the developer's code, from developer's code it will be coming. Okay. Is this clear or not?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Hmm. So all of these fields that you're seeing, right? The keys, basically what we call them as keys in the JSON. These keys will be basically returned from the API's code. So API will always not just get the data from the database, they will be also getting the like information from the developer's code. So whatever developer has coded it, that okay, get the information for name field. So they will go and just get the data, get the this name, but name field, name key will be returned by the code only. It will be coming from the code side. But again, we will say that is why we will say that API is failing. API is giving incorrect details if the details are not matching with the schema. Okay, what is a schema? Can you tell me what is a schema? JSON
The
is
whole
schema.
you okay JSON, I don't know, but in Postman, schema means the whole URL. The whole URL will contain the schema, like HTTP slash and the base URL.
That is not the schema. That is how we call the API schema. JSON schema is basically this thing, this complete thing. So this we are saying that let's look at the simple one.
So the code, like the structure of the code, like that.
The structure of the JSON.
Okay, structure of JSON.
How should the response should look like? What different fields we are accepting, we are expecting. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is the schema. Okay, so if you are, let's say, if in one of the scenario you are not getting this per page, so that means there is like the schema is invalid or there is a issue in the schema, so you can raise it as a bug. Okay, we
Okay.
won't say that data is mismatching or data is failing. We'll say that the schema, there is a mismatch in the schema.
Okay.
Is this thing clear, Mansi? Are we on track?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, okay. Now, can any one of you please share your screen? So, Rahul, would you like to share your screen and just trigger any API, and we will see what the different information you can get over there.
Yeah, just give me a second.
So Sonali, while Rahul is sharing, today I was trying to create some invoice, and then this what is this credit right credit
Credit note or what?
credit note, right? Yes, credit note. I was creating a credit note. So if I go inside the customer tab inside the customers, so inside the customer, the last one, customers,
Okay. Yes.
so many credit notes are created. Like, I have created, if you click on Jill K, it's like 50,000 rupees or dollars. Yeah, see. So minus, I don't know why there is a minus sign for this 50,000 rupees, because if we want to now as a customer, if I want to use that credit note to buy something, some product, so it should be reduced, like if I'm buying some stuff like for 10,000, it should be now 40,000, right?
No, that is where your understanding itself is incorrect, Mansi. I've been trying to tell you this from last 2 days. Invoicing is not like that, okay, you're giving some coupon voucher to this person. Okay, invoicing, this credit note is something that, let's say the invoice was raised by the vendor, and you have paid them, but now you had raised the credit note that no, I was not happy with your service, or I'm not happy with your product, so I'm returning your product. Okay, so the vendor will give you the credit note of 50,000 again, that okay, I'm returning your money. Okay, so this kind of things will happen in credit
Yeah.
note. It's not a voucher.
No, no, I'm not saying it is a voucher, but it's
Hmm.
there is some money involved, right? So this is the amount is now 50,000 rupees is there. So
Hmm.
I was just trying to create a credit note, but constantly it was increased. Like every time I was creating, it is more 10,000 are getting added in the account. So same amount, like 10,000 I wanted to pay it. Like there was at the end
Hmm.
when we are having the amount written on the invoice, there we have option to add the what is that reversed. If we are reversed
Hmm.
means we get this option to add that amount into our pay if we want to pay the bill and
Right.
uh, okay. So but it was constantly getting added into this invoice.
It was getting invoiced over here. This thing you're getting saying,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
yes,
so it will, if you're reversing it, then this for this person, it will get deducted, right? That okay, we had like this is what this you had treated it as a vendor or a customer only, I guess, right? It's under
yes.
customers. Yeah. So what happened is like customer has paid you 50,000 and now you have given him the credit note of 50,000. So it's like negative. We have invoiced him negative 50,000. Otherwise, it would have been if you wouldn't have raised a credit note for him, or if you wouldn't have reversed the transaction, then it would have remained 50,000 only in plus. That means that yes, you have charged this customer 50,000 for your services or your products. But now that the customer is not happy, you have invoiced him minus 50,000, which means you have returned them that money.
Okay, okay.
Is this clear now?
Yes, yes, it's clear.
Okay, okay.
So if as a customer I want to use this credit note, there is no
Hmm.
option there.
No, 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 no option will be there. No, this is not a that thing
Okay,
that you
yes, yes,
can.
got it. So
Yeah.
it's oh, yeah, I got it. It is
Hmm.
already written, and whatever we have given, that is why we are getting this minus sign.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Rahul, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. So trigger any API in invoicing.
Anywhere, whichever you're comfortable, whichever thing you have explored, please do it over there only, so that you'll have better understanding. Yes, just select this patch XHR.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Just
just
refresh.
no, no, just pull this the down one. Yeah, you'll get.
Hmm, okay. You can close the last one. You don't understand what's new.
so what we have to do? So what I have to
So,
do?
just tell me what different APIs that you're getting. You can look at the other ones. If you're not able to understand this, just select the other one and try to figure out what Yeah, expand these models and views. Hmm. So what are you getting over here?
So in the we are getting the payments, accounts, payments and terms,
Mm-hmm.
which we have the names, uh, like in which we have the company ID, create date, create.
Can you expand these? Can you expand these further? Hmm. Okay. So there is a lot of extra information as well, which is coming from this API. So let's look at the other one. Okay, because it might become difficult for you right now. Go to some other tab, like under configuration or anywhere. Go select something else. Okay. Yes. Can you scroll down on the network tab?
Scroll down on the network tab.
Yeah, have you clicked somewhere? Like, have you cleared the screen or what?
No,
What are you doing here? Please
I mean,
just click. Yeah. No, first open the network tab, then click on refresh. Otherwise, it doesn't. Click on the refresh button now.
yeah.
Yes. Now, can you just go through the APIs? Okay, when I say this, then like when we want to perform the API testing on any particular action, you usually need to start from the bottom, okay, not from the top or
Here,
not on the network calls. Yeah, these APIs. Yes, start from the bottom. Okay, scroll up like the other one. Can you expand this now, the result? Yes. So what can you see over here? Can you expand them further? Yeah. Okay. What do you see with them?
so we have the records of uh, the codes in term codes. So
Mm-hmm.
we have different codes for
Hmm.
which for the code EWX, the ID is one, and we named it as like Xworks.
Hmm. So now, if I tell you to test it out, how will you do that?
Test it
Test
out.
out. Yes, test out whether that you're able to do something. Yeah, you're getting proper information. If you want to edit something, how will you do that? If I say you have to test this particular thing in
Yeah,
terms with
exactly.
APIs. Hmm?
Yeah, how to test that a particular API, like how what action it is performing, right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
let's say, okay, first of all, can you check what is the type of this API? Is this a POST API or a GET API?
the post API
This is a POST API. Okay, what you're seeing on the body, what are you sending on the body? Can you check that?
on the body. So where is
Body
the
will be always coming in the payload.
payload of, yeah.
Hmm. So what have you sent over here? Can you click on params? Okay, expand
Oh,
that. Okay. Again, when I said like whenever you need to check anything, like expand everything and then look at it. Okay, at least these small things.
okay.
Active code name. These are the things that you're sending, okay? That, okay, these information you need to receive. Okay, I want you to edit the name, any of the name.
So here,
Yeah, here.
it was, this was,
Yeah, just one is fine. Click on save.
now
Okay. Yeah, can you just scroll on the network calls, like what are the APIs that are on the bottom? Yes. Can you check the other one? Yes, this one. Okay, expand this. This is a payload that you're looking at.
oh,
We should look at the preview. Right now, we need to look at the responses.
okay.
Yes. Okay, so this one says that whatever changes you had done, that has been um like made successfully. Okay.
Okay.
Now do one thing, like just edit the name and don't give anything. Leave it empty.
This invalid field.
Hmm. So can you see on the network calls, can you scroll down to the bottom? Is the read one is your last? Can you scroll there?
Yeah, no, this one is the last one. Read
This
is
one is the last. Okay. So can you see right now what message that you get? The API call, there was nothing in that one. Okay. So it just didn't, this was handled from your front end.
okay.
Can you guys understand this? This was handled from your front end. This message didn't came from the API response. Front end was able to handle this thing that there should be some name. Okay, so not all the information that you're getting on the front end will be coming from the back end or from the API. So few things, few checks have been created by front end only. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you give some name here now?
But
Like
we
give a
can
very long name.
but we can see in the API that the code is EXW and name is works. So
So that was the previous one, right? All of these information will be there on the API calls. Either if you don't want to see it, you can clear this. Yeah, there's a
okay.
button, right? You can just clear it. But this is just like a history that these APIs have been triggered.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Rahul, just give a very long name. Just
Good.
give ABCD, ABCD, ABCD. Give it, yeah, give it multiple times. Give it more, like let's make it 100 words, 100 letters. Yeah. Okay. Now try to save it. Okay, this has still been done. Okay, can you click on that right API? Right.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, I was talking on mute. First of all, just whenever you're checking any API, just select the headers and see what type of API is this. Is this a GET or POST?
Pause.
This is a POST. Now check the payload. What have you? What details have went through? Okay, so you had given this name.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now check on the preview. Okay, it says this result is true, which means it was successfully saved. Yeah. Now, if you click on read the below one, no, when I say read, like the latest one, you need to check.
Okay.
Yes, click on the results. So this shows that yes, now this was the latest update which has been done. Again, check the headers.
Post.
Okay. And what is the payload that you're sharing? So it is basically, can you tell me what this API is trying to do?
This API is trying to, this API, the payload, the read,
Yes, the read one.
it is actually reading what we gave, like the input.
And how did it get to know? Okay, can you just edit the fourth one, FOB, free on board? Can you edit that?
Any name or?
Yeah, anything. Yes,
Oh.
save it. Okay,
So
click on read.
every time we create something like this, read and write will generate it automatically?
Yes, this
Oh.
is the API calls.
Okay.
Can you tell me how will you test this? That whether the change that you have done from the API just by looking at the API, how will you test this out that yes, the change has been made on the correct field that I was trying to edit? Or what is this API trying to do? Just try to figure it out. Any one of you.
So it's like it's a post method, right? So it's trying to create that the name be updated board. So it's going to update that record there.
That is the write API doing. What is this read API doing? Write API has already saved the details. Now, what is the read API doing?
So read is making sure that whatever we wrote there, the like he updated the name as board. So it's reading that correctly. It's there. It's here. It also should be board, right?
No, it is not the API's call to make sure anything. This you have to do. But what is this API actually trying to? What are we trying to get from this API?
Like
What is the payload? Can you just look at it carefully? What is the payload that we are sending over here? Scroll up, Rahul. Yeah. Just look at this params only. Params, what details are we sending on the params?
The code name.
What is this for?
Read. Okay, four.
What
Oh,
is this
fourth is
for?
the number, right, of that.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are asking this API is saying that we are sending in the body that I wanted to get the detail from the database for the fourth index. That what is the value in the database for the fourth index, because that's where we had made the changes. So now if you click on preview, preview is the result that this API is taking from the database. So this has shared you this that okay, on fourth ID I have got code which is FOB and the name for it is board and the active status is true. So can you go back to the payload now? Yeah, expand this. Yeah, expand the args. So if you see, we had asked it to fetch the details for this index, fourth index, first one, and the other things that we had asked was code, active, and name. So this is what we are getting on the preview, right? This is what we are getting on the result.
Yes.
So active is like we have code and name here. So what is active symbol?
Active is basically they would have made something thing on the database, right? Now let's just try to remove it. Let's try to remove the second one, FCA. Click on the checkbox. No, remove the entire code.
Oh, entire one.
Yes. Is it not allowing you to do it? I guess we had done it yesterday.
I think discard. Click on discard first, maybe.
Yeah, but it is not allowing. Okay. Yeah. Now can you check what are the things?
Unlink
Okay.
the web search read.
So what is there in the web search read? No, I think this KWARGS is the unnecessary one. Don't expand it. We just need to look in the yes, scroll down. Do you have any further scroll here?
No.
No. Okay, let's look at the preview. Let's look at the preview. Okay, length. Okay, can you do it? Yes. Okay. So that one got just removed and yes, scroll down further. Okay, so it's just like that they are just maintaining the status as active in the database, that whichever field is present over here,
True.
so they will just by default mark it as active and they'll just mark it as true. Okay. So basically what should have happened is that if you're removing it and it's still there in the database, then we can mark it as false, because these are the uh, default terms which are there in these invoicing. So it should still be there into the database, but here on the API call, we should have seen it as active, as false. But maybe this is how they have created. So we can't right now say that this is a bug, but yeah, maybe we need more details over here. Okay. Can you check this unlink one? Okay, payload, check the payload. Okay. So it is just saying that, yeah, expand this, expand 0. Okay, it is just sent. So it is just sending it in this API that unlink this second ID for me. And in the preview, if you go into the preview,
So unlink is nothing but like we deleted it, right?
yes, we deleted it. That's it. So here in the result, you're seeing it as true. Okay, that this was unlinked successfully. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions here? How we are trying to do the like database to front end testing, API to front end testing.
So Sonali, first we always check payload, then we will go for preview, right?
Yes, yes. So
So
first go for headers.
headers.
Even
So
go for headers.
yes.
So headers, you will check two things. First is what kind of request method is it? Then the other thing is status code. Okay.
So do it for the like get methods, those methods. We'll get the get methods also, only the post methods.
No, we'll get it for the get methods also. It's
Okay.
just that this particular like website has almost all the things in the form of post methods. Otherwise, usually these read and all things should be coming in the form of like we can still tweak them in the form of get methods and not post method. So if you remember, we have this query parameter, right? Can you tell me what is query parameters?
Okay.
Query
The
parameters is like after the question marks, it's like key and value.
Okay. So let's say if I say that read, can you click on read, Rahul? Yeah. So if I say that this is a get API, then what changes do you think? What will be different over here?
There will be no
That
body.
will be different.
There will be no body, right? No payload.
Yes, there
Yeah.
will be no body, but how will I say that? Okay, now I wanted the details for index 4.
So question mark.
So we can either pass it in the form of query parameter, but it's not like that I'm asking you to do it, but because the thing is like this API is written in a post method only, so you will have to trigger it like this. it could have been created like a get method as well. So that's what we are just discussing, that if it would have been in get method, then we should have given it these ID as the query parameter. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Any other questions do you guys have? So how comfortable are you now on this API testing that we are doing from here?
So this is manual API testing, right?
Yes, this is manual. Yeah.
So whatever we do in Postman, that is automation.
No, that is also manual only.
So like I'm actually confused, Sonali. Like what we do actually do in Postman, like we just copy the URL and we do the like.
Hmm.
I think I closed it. Yeah, here we just send it, right? So
Yeah.
it will get the those I mean JSON and those things. So
Hmm.
what we will see there, like we'll just see the post method like 404, the status codes and those. That's it, or
No. You need to check everything. That's what I said that, right? The JSON schema, the kind of values that you're getting. So let me share my screen back. Uh, mm, mm, mm. So here you will be checking the schema. Okay. Then you will be checking, okay, this is a page field. So it should be in the numeric format. If it's coming in the string format or if it's coming in any other format, you will need to raise a bug for it.
okay,
Okay. Then we will say that, okay, if any invalid entry is coming, whether let's say from the database you have done some query and you saw that the the first ID is not cerulean, but it is, let's say, ABC. Okay,
okay,
then again you need to raise it as a bug. Okay, so
okay,
these kind of validation you need to do first of all. Secondly is the status code. Then how much time is it taking? It should not exceed like too long. It should not be running for too long. Okay.
mm,
Then we will also check these headers as well. That what are the headers that it is giving in the response code. It should not expose any uh, private or secure information. Okay. So maybe in headers or like it should not expose your IP address or any such details. Like it can be
password,
anything.
usernames, those
Hmm?
passwords, usernames, also those.
Yes, usually passwords and usernames won't be there, but yeah, you can just say that any secure information should not be shared on the headers, like response headers should
Oh,
not come. Okay, so these are the things. Now, can you just rephrase it for me? Oh,
in the Postman here.
yes. So everywhere, it's not just necessarily Postman. Even if you're doing it from network tab also, you
Okay.
will get all these details. Okay, so let me go back on that.
Sonali,
Uh,
we are testing it against what? Like in the Postman, you were showing that screen, the schema. So we are testing it against what?
just a second, I'm coming back to your question. Okay,
Okay.
so if you see here, we have the response headers and the request headers. Request header is basically what we will be sending while triggering the API. Response header will be something what we will be getting. So in the Postman, you will be seeing it over here. So this is your response headers. So you will check response headers, you will check status code, time, the schema like the format basically, that what value it should accept. Is it is it giving you the correct format or not? And then the data validation from the database, that the information that you're getting is correct or not. So now coming to your question, Mansi, so you said that how will we validate, right?
Yeah.
So this schema thing, right? That's what you want to validate. So
Yes.
this will be shared by the
Developers.
developers in the like let's just say Swagger or any other documentation. But when I say the schema will be shared, it's not necessary that they will be sharing that, okay, till ID 6 they are sharing. So it might happen with that when you're doing the real testing, you're just getting till 2 IDs. That doesn't mean that it is an error. It could also be the case that 10 sets of information you're getting over here. So that means that you have more information in the database that which is getting reflected over here. Okay, so schema for this schema is, let me just copy it for you. The schema is just this. Okay, so when you see over here square brackets, okay, that means it could have multiple values, like it can have multiple sets of these nested arrays. Okay, just what I have removed right now. So this kind of schema will be shared by the developer. But that doesn't mean that when you have this many things, it's an error. It's just that you have multiple entries on your database, which is also not incorrect, because obviously you'll be having multiple data.
So this ID, name, year, color, and those things will be coming from the database, right?
Yes, all of these things.
And also we need to validate these by using the database also.
Yes, all the data will be validated from the database, and
Okay.
these fields will be validated from the schema. So if the developer has said that yes, all of these fields are mandatory, and in one of the case we're not getting this, then you need to raise a bug for it. But if the developer says that these are not the mandatory, so there could be two things, right? That this entry itself is not there, or your this value is empty. Okay, so in this case, what has happened is that you don't have an entry for Pantone value. So if this field is not mandatory, then it can be empty. If it's a mandatory field, then it shouldn't be empty. You need to raise a bug for it. If this key entirely is not there, that means it is JSON schema itself is not matching. It's not coming properly. Then again, you need to raise a bug for it. Is this
Okay.
clear?
We have a Pantone value in a value column in database, but we don't have any values to that column. So it could be empty or like they
yes.
but the or else the developer say it is not mandatory.
Yeah, that depends on the developers, the requirements. So if the requirement says that no, this is not a mandatory field, like that means the value inside this field is not mandatory. Okay, that doesn't mean that it can be empty, like it can't exist in your schema. It should always be present in your schema. Okay.
So Sonali, when we are like testing the API, so we are figuring out if we have the error, and if we have the error, so the error is from which end? So it's like the front end error or a back end error, or the API. It's the problem of API. The API is not fetching the correct response
Yes.
from the database. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what schema is. Okay. It is the first step, like after status code, after response time. This is the first thing that you need to validate. The schema should be correct, whatever has been shared by the developer. Then you will check, okay, is the format is correct or not.
So
Then you will
we
check.
validate, sorry, Sonali, we will validate to with the document like Swagger document provided by the developers,
Yes, just these fields, just these keys.
the page, only the first
Yes, only the
percentage total,
right.
but not which is in the brackets, square brackets.
No, not just the square brackets, these also, these values as well. These values also are coming from the database.
Okay.
Okay, these values. So basically keys will be coming
Is coming
from
from
the developer's code, which is again, which we call it as JSON schema. Okay. Then
Okay.
formatting we will check. So let me write down the thing for you. So first we will check the status code.
Mhm.
Okay. Second, we will check the time taken. Okay. Third, we will check the JSON schema.
Schema.
JSON schema is nothing but the keys we will check. Okay. Then we will check the
Headers.
format. No, the format of data in the format of data for
in the
the,
schema.
what should I say? Format of data for the key values. Okay, so this thing.
So it should be integer only. Like if it is,
Hmm.
it is integer.
Depending.
Integer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Then we will check the data. Okay, so data means whether you're getting the correct data from the database or not. Then
So here we can also, sorry.
hmm,
So
yeah,
here we can also do the SQL query, right?
yes, you have to do it. Otherwise, you won't be able to validate the data only. You will have to write down the SQL queries onto the database and fetch that, okay, this is what I'm trying to get. Is this matching onto my API response or not?
Okay.
Okay. The next is headers, response headers. Okay. So I believe this is the things. Am I missing anything? I guess, yeah.
Sonali, can you share the SQL queries with us? If you know any uh,
SQL
some
question you're asking?
questions and some, where we can solve some queries like
SQL classes you have not attended or what? We have already
we did.
seen this thing, right? Yeah. Just basic, like they won't ask you anything regarding like how will you test it using API and all. This thing you will get to understand when you're working properly in a company. Okay.
Sabia, do we have that like the
Questions?
examples for SQL queries?
Actually, no, the questions have never been shared with us. Like
Yeah,
they Sahil told us that he will share the curated like SQL questions like the for the interview, but
yeah. Radhika told
never
us
share.
just to get the
Okay.
get the question from you, like what is
Okay.
this?
Google.
Google it, yeah, Google it, and first 30 or like first few
Hmm.
questions related to the interview, you can get it from internet, but
Okay.
still,
I had taken few sessions where I had, gone through like the lead code SQL queries. Were you guys there in that session?
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
lead
Yeah.
code SQL queries, I don't know.
Yes. So even if you'll cover up those as well, that is more than enough. You will get the idea, okay, what has to be done. Maybe Mansi, you were not there. You can just revisit the sessions again,
Okay, okay,
and you will get a really good understanding that what kind of questions can be asked.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So, Sonali, like we just have to write the queries to fetch the data, right?
Yes. Yes.
Only for fetching the data, but not that deeper, right?
No, 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 not that deeper. Don't worry about it. Like creating and all, you won't have to do like creating database and all, but at least like updating or inserting something that also you can do manually. But in terms of interviews, just you need to prepare, insert, and update as well.
Okay.
Okay. So in terms of interview, I will say go with insert, update, join SQL queries. Then we have that subquerying. So these kind of questions are like usually asked.
Okay.
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 And what about theory questions about SQL?
No theory questions will be asked. Maybe just few basic things like what is the difference between primary key and foreign key. Majorly, it will be always like they will ask you to write down the query.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do one thing if you want. Like, are all of you on the same page for the SQL queries? Like, are you not confident yet for the SQL query?
It's been like 2 months. We have moved to different topics, so we
So
haven't tried.
these things will keep on happening, okay? Like you will be moving from one thing to another, but you can't keep it as an excuse for yourself
Excuse,
that
yeah.
yeah, because this interviews, these all of these things we are doing it for you. You will have to give your 100%. Only then we can achieve something, right? So spend time, keep on revising the things. Okay.
Okay.
Sabya and Rahul, how is it for you guys?
Yeah,
I
okay.
think
Okay, so
okay. Yeah, okay.
like
Um,
if it is
Okay,
that
okay.
but deeper, like it is not like doing.
Hmm.
yeah, the basic one, yeah, I think we'll be able to solve.
Okay. Fine, fine. ठीक है, all right. Let's just try to revisit those things because it's not correct that we will be going through the same thing again and again. If you guys have any doubt, okay, first go through all the stuffs, okay, whatever we have covered up till now. If you have any doubts, then we can again, have a sync up and we can do it. But right now, it doesn't make any sense for me to start once again the
No,
SQL
no,
querying and all.
I'm not saying we need to start
Mhm.
over again. It's
it's
like,
it's it's like if we have the questions like the Sandeep has what he did with
Mhm.
us, it's like whatever topic he teaches, right? So at the end he will give us some questions and he make us to write those questions in the book. So now it's like we are prepared for that. So even if we have the interview, we'll just revisit those pages and it will get like fresh. We know everything.
Mhm.
So just like
Okay.
that, we were hoping that if we have some like the basic questions which will give the overall revision, so that's it, nothing
Yeah.
else.
I will really suggest because what happens in this SQL one is that you need to have a database and all. Only then you will understand these things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that try to revisit that lead code one, okay, which I had taken the session. I guess it was 2 to 3 sessions that I had taken for this SQL queries.
In
Two
between.
sessions at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So please revisit them, else I'll try to accumulate those questions somewhere and I'll share it with you guys. Okay.
Okay, like related to like database
Keyword.
testing, like how we the queries that we use to do the database testing, those kind of questions. Like
Yeah, actually, when
Yeah.
we search on the Google, so if we are just going for the like SQL query, so it will give the like very difficult ones also. So just the ones
and
which is
yeah,
related to the
even in
keyword.
the interview, do we need to write the query in Workbench or where we can
The,
write it?
that
Do
I guess they will just ask you to write it down on any of the text editor and not on Workbench.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, so what I was saying was that don't search it on Google like this that queries for database testing, right? They just search it like SQL questions, SQL queries for interviews, right? That's what is going to give you. If you want to do such thing that okay, you want to test proper data that you're getting from the database and all, for that you need to have proper end-to-end thing. So currently, if you would have seen that for this Odoo, we have the APIs that, okay, these are the APIs that are getting triggered, but we don't have the database right now. So we don't know how to do the query over there and to get these things. So these things will remain same because any open source application also, they won't expose the database to you. Okay, they won't give you the database to play around. So that will remain the case. So don't worry, these kind of questions won't be asked in the interviews. You just need to work on SQL queries for interviews. That's it.
okay,
Okay, Sonali.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, Cool
So
thing.
like, can you also tell us like how we have to like tell this Odoo project to an interviewer? Like if he asks like, what
Yeah.
was your last project? So how can we explain that Odoo project to him? Could you also in the next sessions or
Yeah,
whenever?
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
So
one
Sure.
thing,
We'll.
yeah,
Mhm.
along with him, there is one more thing. If we are definitely we are going to add some project in our
Mm,
resume. So along with project, we are also, if we are adding the Odoo ones, uh, s- the same question, that how we are going to use it in our resume if we
mhm,
are using the two projects.
mhm, mhm. Okay, that is fine. We'll cover it up in the next session. Okay. So you guys have already created your resumes, right?
yeah, I created
Mm,
CV. So
mhm,
only thing is for the last project, so I don't have any experience before. So what
mhm,
is like during masters, I kept like I did freelancing. So for
mhm,
freelancing, so I need a project like so
mhm,
told me like I told to Sachin that Sonali is teaching on Odoo like
mhm,
business management application.
mhm,
Also, I told him like I will be explaining that particular project to the interviewer.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So what are the I mean domain knowledge and what are the modules that we have covered and those things
Mhm.
if you could please explain us, that will be really helpful.
Sure, sure. Let's cover it up in the next session. Okay, and we'll also cover up how to write these things in your resumes.
Yes, yeah,
Okay. All right. Cool. Anything else?
yeah,
Okay, then.
yeah,
That's it. Cool. Thank you. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
yeah.
Thank you, Sonali.
So
Sonali,
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
bye.
bye.